welcome back to Do More Art. My name is Bailey and I'm here to show you all another fun, easy at-home project. Today we're going to be continuing our theme of resist art for this month, and we're going to be using glue as our resist layer for today. So you're going to need a thick piece of paper because we are using glue. It's pretty heavy. You don't want your paper to buckle underneath it, so just be sure that it is thick. I'm going to be using cardstock, so something like that. You're going to need school glue like Elmer's. You're gonna need some watercolors, and you can also use watered down paint if you don't have watercolors. You're gonna need a brush and then a cup of water to rinse out your brush in between colors. So there's first your regular, average school glue that you have. It's white, and that's what I'm gonna be using today. I'm gonna be using white on white cardstock. It's a very traditional thing for this project, so I'll be using that, but you can also use clear glue, which will show the color of the paper underneath. So if you're using like a different color piece of paper, like construction paper or something, this will help show that color through it rather than having white on it. And then the last thing that you can do that I just recently learned about, it's pretty cool, is if you take black paint and you mix it with your glue, you can make black glue. And then using it on this project, you kind of create a puffy coloring book for yourself, which is pretty cool to me. So if you want to try that out and you have extra glue to mix black paint in, I think it's worth a shot and it's pretty cool. But to get started, we're going to ask our lovely assistant, Leo the Lion, for some ideas. And you do not, as always, you do not have to take these ideas. They're just if you need something new. So let's read a few. A pineapple, a dragon, very scary. Let's see, a motorcycle, some flowers, very pretty flowers, and oh, we did that one not too long ago, so I'm gonna skip that one. Let's do a turtle. And I like turtles a lot. I'm probably gonna go with this one for our project, but I think I'm gonna do a sea turtle instead. So let's get started. All right, everyone, so before we get started, as always, take a look and see that we have all the supplies that you're gonna need for this project. We're starting with a thick piece of paper. I'm gonna be using cardstock today. Just make sure that it's thick enough to hold the weight of glue and water, that way it doesn't buckle underneath you during this project. You're gonna need some glue, and remember the different types that I've talked about that you can use for it. All will work perfectly fine for this project. Just make sure that it is school glue and not like hot glue or something like that. You're gonna need some watercolors of your choice and a brush and a cup of water to change your colors out with. So to get things started, first, thank you to Leo for giving us the idea of a turtle. I'm changing it up a little bit and making a sea turtle just because they're one of my favorite animals and they're cool. Typically I say to draw out your piece first, like with a pencil or something, but because if you're using these two, they do dry clear typically, so you don't want your pencil to show up through there. If you are using the black, then it's okay, but just keep that in mind if you're using these two, that the pencil will show up. If you're okay with that, then by all means go ahead. But if you're not, we are going to go ahead and start drawing our sea turtle with glue. And I can show you all how I make my sea turtles, maybe. You just wanna, whatever you're drawing at home, if you're not following along and making a sea turtle, then you just wanna make sure that you're not putting in a lot of details, because glue does spread, like you can see how it's thicker there and then it got smaller. So trying to put in a lot of details can be difficult with glue. So just keep that in mind as well. But starting with our sea turtle, I just kind of make this circle shape with a little divot in the side, and this is where I'm gonna put the head. So I'm not connecting it, I'm leaving a space, and I'm making a line that's pretty parallel to that curved line, and then just another U to create the head. And then I'll do the arms next. So again, not touching the shell that we just made, drawing a line, and then I kind of go up, and it's like a weird L shape, like upside down L shape. It kind of looks like a Christmas stocking to me. Maybe do that. And then I'm running out of room on this side. And we make an awkward arm here. Oop, scoop. So you kind of got these weird upside down L shapes for the arms. And then very similar to the head that we did up there, you're gonna do a straight line and then like a U shape for one leg and then another. And now you can leave it here if you want, but I'm gonna go in and add a few details for the shell. It's not gonna be too detailed because like I said, you don't want a lot of details because it does get lost with the glue. So that is a long hexagon. And then you just keep adding a hexagon. So you have about 3 hexagons if you're following. Like that. And then you take the points out to the edge. And just kind of connect the hexagons to the outer shell. Alright, so there is our lovely sea turtle, and just to give the effect that he is swimming in the gorgeous ocean blue, I'm going to be adding some little waves. You can add seaweed, other fish even. You can do whatever you want here. You can make them on the beach and have like sand and stuff. Boom. Alright, so there is my sea turtle all drawn out with glue, and now this is the unfortunate part of this project. You do have to wait entirely for this to dry, which could take several hours. I've actually gone ahead and did one yesterday, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and move this one out of the way, and then here is what it looks like whenever it had dried. There's some bumps, you can kind of tell, it feels really cool. But this did dry overnight, so now I'm just gonna get ready for the next step. So we've finished our resist layer and we're moving on to our watercolor layer. So this is the fun part for you. You can get totally creative here and just have fun with it. I'm gonna go in and make his shell green. Get a lot of water on there. And then you just swoop right over it, and you can already see how that's not sticking to the glue. It may stick some, but I saw a trick that after it is all dry, all of it is dry, the glue and your watercolor, you can actually take a wet one or like a wet paper towel and just kind of go over that glue right there, and it comes off super easily. But just be careful not to pick up anything on the paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in a little bit, show you all what it looks like. So another thing you can do to kind of spruce up your turtle a little bit, or anything else that you're working on really, is going in and adding a darker color to kind of give it shadows and give it that effect. And I'm not going over the glue, I'm just working next to it, so it kind of looks like the glue is a ridge and that ridge is creating the shadow. Just a little art tip. Alright, and there you have it. This is my finished glue resist art, and here's my lovely little sea turtle. I am pretty excited with how it turned out. You can definitely tell where parts of the glue have resisted those watercolors, and it really helps having it in the light. I don't know if you all can see where that light's hitting the glue in the shell, but it really helps give it that three-dimensional effect and create something really cool. So that is the glue resist project. I did want to show you all what the black glue would look like if you wanted to try that. Remember I said it kind of looks like a puffy coloring book. So I did one really quickly, and it is still super wet, so I can't show you all what it looks like colored, but this is what the black glue would look like. And as I said, I did it pretty quickly, and I lost some details in here. Remember I said earlier that glue is very difficult to control, and especially if you're trying to make really small details. And because I did this so quickly, I definitely lost details in the shell as well as in this foot where it's just completely covered it up, and even here in the neck and arm where they're starting to connect. So just be mindful of that whenever you're creating your project. And there's our Resist art project for the week using glue as our resist layer. I really hope you all enjoyed that project. I know it takes a little time to finally finish it, but it's totally worth it, and I hope it turned out great for you. If it did, share with us. We love to see your artwork, so share it with Warren County Public Library. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. And be sure as always to experiment with it and just have fun. That's the most important thing. And tune in next week. We're going to be doing a live Do More Art, so I get to see all of your pretty faces and we get to make art together. How cool is that? But until then, do more art and have fun. Have a good week.